Bella is joining us from WFTV. The state announcing the death penalty is off the table. Why?
Well, from what I understand, with all this new evidence coming out, nothing has changed at this point. From what I've been told, that decision could change any time up until the time the trial starts. But at this point, nothing has changed. The state does not intend, as of today, to seek the death penalty in this case.
You know, they have amassed so much evidence. I want to go out to the Orlando jail. Standing by, Nikki Pierce from WDBO. What is your understanding as to why the state is not seeking the death penalty against Tot Mom?
As far as we know, even with all the buzz when the October 12th trial date was set yesterday, and even with all of the evidence that's come forth since they originally took the death penalty off the table, everyone was wondering today whether or not they would reinstate the possibility of the death penalty. This evidence that was found, by the way, includes Kaylee's remains and everything found with it. But they are still not reconsidering as of now. They said today that they are going to continue on the course that they've already set and not try to seek the death penalty. But as Kathy said, that could change when a jury is seated.
Joining me right now is a veteran trial lawyer, former attorney for Casey Anthony. He argued against the state seeking the death penalty. We are taking your calls live. Terrence Linneman is joining us out of Orlando. Mr. Linneman, are you surprised at the state's announcement today?
No, I'm not surprised at all, Nancy. I think Mr. Lamar, the prosecutor, made a decision based on what the law is in Florida, not necessarily emotion, and I understand that people are very emotional about this issue, but that's why we have prosecutors who are seasoned like Mr. Lamar making some of the important decisions.
Well, Mr. Linneman, speaking of seasoned prosecutors, without revealing just exactly how old I really am, the law, as I understand it, I've got it here in my hand in case you know of something that I don't. Aggravating circumstances that allow for the death penalty, only one of these can call for the death penalty, include an especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel crime, or when the victim of the murder is less than 12. Now, sir, if the Tot Mom is found guilty, would you not agree that those two circumstances are in fact met?
Well, I don't think there's any evidence that's been released that shows that HAC, the heinous, atrocious, cruel aggravator, exists. I think the two that exist is an aggravated felony and the under 12, but those two merge in Florida, and based on the fact that this woman has no priors, she's never had contact with the law before, there's no other prior violent felonies. I mean, this is a perfect case where, although emotionally, a lot of people feel that death penalty is something that should be followed through with, this is a situation where a seasoned prosecutor like Mr. Lamar, who's been doing this 20-plus years, and understands that this thing cost, $3, $4, $5 million.
So now you're throwing the kitchen sink at me, Mr. Linneman. You're going from, you started off tonight in the last 2 minutes saying it's not consistent under the law. And I show you, I read you the law, and the death penalty is consistent under the law. You yourself admit that once I confront you with the law. Now you say it's about emotion, then you're saying it's about the money. So which one is it, Mr. Linneman? What is the reason the state says they're not seeking the death penalty? It's not the law. It's not money. There are 52 men on death row right now, 52, already executed in Florida that murdered one person. There are 397 people sitting on death row, many of them convicted of killing one person. So what's the difference with the Tot Mom? Because she's young and white from a well-to-do family and attractive? Explain it to me. Scott Peterson, he had no brushes with the law, as you put it. He got the death penalty. Why not Tot Mom?
Well, I think there's a huge distinguishing factor here. Although you are technically correct, it only takes one aggravating factor.
You are so right, Mr. Linneman.
The two aggravating factors that exist actually equal one in Florida. And when you look at other cases of similar nature to Ms. Anthony's, giving them benefits to the prosecutor under a theory of proportionality, because it's not the jury that makes the ultimate decision. They make a recommendation.
You're not even making any sense, Linneman.